Brief course overview. Our ultimate goal. The ultimate goal for this class is to write a semester-long research essay that's around 10 pages in length. For most of us, that might feel like this guy, standing at the bottom of a mountain and feeling incredible fear that he'll never be able to make it to the top. I get that fear. I used to have the same fear. In fact, even now, when I'm faced with a large or small writing text, I get a little bit panicky. But then I just do what I teach. I learn to find the path up the mountain. I learn to take small steps to get to where I need to go. Going up a mountain is not a straight line. No, it's more like this. Learning to find the winding curves that take you all the way to the top. It's about learning to pace yourself so you can get up the mountain and back down again, because you have to get back down. If we keep this metaphor in mind, the first half of the semester will be learning to climb up the mountain. It'll be the hardest part of the semester, because going up is always a challenge, and it takes the most training and guidance. It's when you might want to feel like quitting, but I assure you, if you just follow the path that I've set out for you, if you let me be your guide, by week 9, right after midterm, we'll start to climb down the mountain, and going down is so much easier than going up. The mountain, the Food Matters research essay. The mountain I'm teaching you to climb is how to write a semester-long research essay. I'm going to train you to do this in steps, because going a small stretch up the mountain each week is better for your body and it's better for your writing. First, your paper is going to have 6 sections: an intro, a background and context section, the first section in support of your thesis, the counter-argument and rebuttal section, the second thesis support section, and the conclusion. Lots of students get really hung up about a long research paper because they're really concerned with the question of how long does it need to be? And I want you not to worry so much about that. I know that you can write a 1.5 to 2 page paper, right? Most of these sections will be about that long or less. Sections 2 through 5 will be about 1.5 to 2 pages long. Sections 1 and 6 will be about a page. In the end, your paper will be about 7 to 10 pages. We're going to write it one section at a time. And I know you can write 2 pages, or even 1.5. I'm just going to ask you to write 1.5 to 2 pages a few times. It's really no big deal. You can do it. Another question that students ask all the time is, how many sources am I going to need? I also understand that question. We're going to be doing research for 4 weeks, maybe a little bit longer depending on what you find. In those 4 weeks, though, your goal is to read or view at least 3 sources per week. Why so many? Well, not all the sources you find will be good or will help your argument. To become an expert on the topic, you need to try to read twice as many sources as you'll use in your paper, so you want to shoot high. Ultimately, for your paper, you'll want to integrate between 6 to 10 sources, which will be easy if you've read 12 or more over the course of 4 weeks. I know that might sound like a lot, but they don't all need to be long, full-length books. Many will be short articles that you find online. So believe me when I say this, you can do it. I know you can. You just have to stick to the path and follow me as your guide, and you'll make it there. And then you'll learn how to write a long research essay for any research project in the future, whether it's graduate school or just your senior thesis. You can do it. The path up and down the mountain. The semester will begin with some curated works. I'll ask you to engage with some food-related texts, both written and cinematic, to get your feet wet on the subject matter of food. Then we'll move into exploring what issues and claims there are in the field of food discourse, which will help you figure out what you want to write about. We'll do a little research each week, while also reviewing and learning about some writing strategies. Then we'll move into creating an outline using a template and the sources that you found. Really, it's just about plugging in information. Then we'll begin writing your paper in sections and doing peer workshops to get feedback on those shorter sections. Remember, those sections are going to be between 1 and 2 pages, not more than that. And then towards the end of the semester, once you've got a nearly complete draft of your paper, you'll visit the Writing Center to get some expert feedback on that draft. Finally, you'll make some revisions to that draft and submit it, and then we'll be done. So the path up and down the mountain isn't too complex. And actually, the steepest part are those first 3 bullet points, getting your feet wet, exploring, and figuring out what you want to write about. Once you have that, the paper, believe me, is going to sort of write itself.